This is your favorite online school, SkillBridge Institute. We are still on project management, and right now we'll be discussing about project life cycles. So, for talking of project life cycles, we need to understand that these are phases through which each and every project goes through from start to finish. So, those phases are the ones that we're going to discuss in this particular lesson. So, on project life cycle, the first phase that we're going to discuss it is initiation phase. So, for talking of initiation phase, this we need to understand that this is where you try to identify the problem and you try to set a clear goal. The thing that we need to understand is that whenever you are having a project comes whenever there is a problem. So a project comes to address that particular problem. Let's say you've got a school problem, you don't have school blocks at a certain place. So we are going to say that we are going to have got a project where we'll construct school blocks. You don't have water in a certain community. You say that because we don't have water in a certain community, we are going to have a project where we are supposed to bring boreholes to people of this particular community. So in an initiation phase, you try to identify the problem and you set a clear goal to say that because there is this particular problem, we are going to take this particular action. Because there is water problem, we're going to take an action that where we're going to bring boreholes to people of this particular community. Let's talk about key activities. Key activities in initiation. Number one, it is identifying the problem that our project is going to solve. Another one, you need to set clear and measurable goals. So on this one, you are trying to say, we'll bring water to the people of the particular community. We are going to bring how many boreholes? You say, we will construct them 2 boreholes. That means you are clear, and at the same time, your goal is measurable because there is a number there. Another one, you need to create a basic project outline that is including a baseline survey. So on that one, you are trying to understand their needs. So you're assessing the needs of that particular community. So that is where you're trying to conduct a baseline survey of what exactly you're supposed to deliver to the people of that particular community. So we're having an example there where we're saying that there is a tree planting campaign, and you might have a goal to say, we are going to plant 10,000 trees in 1 year. So that one can be your goal, your measurable goal by the end of the day. Phase number 2, it is planning. So in planning, what you need in that one, you try to develop a detailed plan for achieving your goal. So you are coming up with plan on how you are going to achieve that particular goal which you are having. The plan of delivering balls to the community, the plan of planting trees. So on this one, you are now coming with details on how you are going to deal with that particular thing, with that particular goal which you have. Activities in planning, you try to assign roles and responsibilities to your team. Another one, you try to create timelines for tasks. So that is what you try to do here. You mark those deadlines to say we are going to start doing this from this particular day and we are going to finish it on this particular day. From there, you try to prepare budgets. So on this one, you are trying to set amount of money for a particular task. So that is what you're doing right there. On that one, another one, you are trying to identify risk and create backup plans. So on this one, you are trying to figure out what are some foreseeable circumstances which can hinder your project, and you are trying to come up with a plans to say if this particular foreseeable circumstance can find our project, what are we going to do? We are having an example there where we're saying there is a wedding. So on wedding, you try to schedule venue, you book caterers, and you try to decide on the amount of budget that you need to have for you to execute your wedding project. Another one that we need to understand it is execution and monitoring. So on execution, we have got the following. So we need to understand that on execution, there you are trying to complete planned task to achieve the goal. So on execution, this is where you are doing the actual work on the ground. So on that one, you're trying to manage team and resources. So that is what you're trying to do on this one, because you're doing things on the ground. So you are managing resources in various tasks, as well as you are also managing the team members who are doing those particular tasks. So on execution, we are having an example. We are saying a builder starts constructing a house. That means you have now started executing that particular project on the ground. Let's talk about monitoring as another phase. So on monitoring, there you are trying to track progress and solve problems which are coming in as you are doing your actual work on the ground. So on that one, you're trying to compare the plan and you are trying to adjust if those adjustments are needed. So on that one, you are trying to compare the progress, how you are moving with the plan, to say, you are asking yourself, is whatever we planned initially, are we doing the exact thing? Or sometimes there are some needs for adjustment so that this project can be done better. So that is what you're trying to do here. For example, on that one, you had a consent. Let's say you had a music consent. So that particular music consent, you plan it that you're going to do it on an open space. But by the end of the day, there is bad weather. For example, there rains. So here on monitoring, you might plan to say, because there is bad weather, what we're going to do is that we are going to move this particular consent indoors, where we need to find a certain room, a certain hall, where we need to do this particular consent inside that one, so that it shouldn't affect our initial plan of having a music consent. Let's talk about the last phase, that is closure and the importance of project life cycle. So on closure, that is where you finish the project and you evaluate its success. So here is where when you are done with the whole project and you evaluate the successes that you have achieved in your project. In this one, you are trying to deliver the final product or service. Or another one, you try to review success and improvement. So you review all the success and those things that we should need to improve next time if you are going to have the same project. For example, if you are planting 10,000 trees, at this particular moment, you can review the survival to say how many trees have survived at this particular moment, and you try to plan on how you're going to care for those particular remaining trees. Let's talk about the importance of project life cycle. Number one, it is organization. So it keeps the team on track. Everybody within the team understands what he or she is supposed to do in that particular project. Another one is clarity. So everybody is clear of his or her role within that particular project. Risk management. Another one, you are able to handle risk properly because you planned for it initially. So if those risks emanate, you'll be able to deal with them. Another one is efficiency. So there is that efficiency, use of resources, both human resource as well as any other resource that is available on your project. So you efficiently use them because you planned for them initially. Right. So this is the summary of project life cycle. So these are the phases. You start on here, initiation phase. After initiation phase, you go to planning. After planning, you put it on the ground. After putting it on the ground, then you try to check if whatever you planned initially is what is indeed happening in your execution. From there, you close your project. Then the project starts again. So that is the cycle, how it revolves. So that is it on project management. Thank you so much.